We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators.
No.
Look, I would take
her over it. It's horrible that we have to do that.
I can't. I could never vote for Newsom. I just can't. I would just say that his leadership in California is good reason to brush him off for the loser that he really is.
Gavin Newsom thought he was walking into a friendly debate, flashing that trademark grin like the cameras were his best friends. But then Ana Kasparian showed up, armed with a flamethrower of truth, a blender of chaos, and a checklist titled Ways to Wreck a Governor. What was supposed to be a calm exchange turned into a masterclass in public embarrassment. Ana didn't just clap back. She gave a full-blown TED Talk on accountability, with Newsom as the unwilling exhibit. Her calm voice made it even more savage. No yelling, no theatrics, just pure, surgical precision that left him exposed. This wasn't a debate anymore. It was a political meltdown broadcast in high definition. Gavin's smirk faded faster than a campaign promise, and Ana, she didn't just win the night, she owned it. Welcome to the roast Gavin never saw coming, but absolutely earned.
Your car's gonna get broken into, okay? You're gonna get robbed. Using taxpayer money, funneling it to nonprofits so they can literally buy crack pipes and hand them out at Skid Row.
And
there's video evidence of that. Paying incredibly high taxes that go to what? So yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And honestly, just experiencing what I've seen on the ground in California has made me question a lot about left-wing ideology.
Gavin Newsom woke up thinking it was just another perfect California day. His hair was slick, his suit was flawless, and that practiced smile looked ready for the spotlight. You could almost imagine him winking at himself in the mirror before heading out, so sure, so polished, so untouchable. But fate had other plans. Enter Ana Kasparian, not whispering, not trembling, but walking in with the quiet rage of someone completely done with the West Coast's Golden Boy Act. Gavin's shine dimmed fast under her calm fire. This was the man who loves to pose as a progressive hero while shaking hands with billionaires and dodging real issues like a pro. Ana wasn't impressed. She came ready to expose the double life of California's favorite political poster boy. What started as a routine appearance became a full-blown reckoning under the studio lights.
In 2014, voters in California overwhelmingly supported a ballot measure to support building more reservoirs in the state in order to bulk up our water infrastructure because we live in a drought-prone state. That passed in 2014. Funding was attached to it. You want to know how many reservoirs have been built since 2014? Zero. This state is an utter joke because of the people who are governing it. Gavin Newsom right now is at the top of that list.
If you're enjoying this takedown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's be honest, Gavin's been perfecting his political tap dance for years. He's got that smooth centrist charm down to a science, the kind that says, I care deeply about climate change, while quietly signing off on another batch of oil permits over brunch. It's all part of his image, the polished, wine-sipping savior of California. This carefully crafted persona of a visionary leader is cracking under the heat of his own contradictions. Every polished speech hides a tangle of broken promises and selective outrage. He wants to play the hero of progress while the state struggles with disasters he pretends to solve. The shine is fading fast, and suddenly, the charming smile that once dazzled the cameras looks more like a mask slipping under pressure. The performance can't last forever, not when the truth is burning bright for everyone to see.
This is what I was surprised about. I did not expect Donald Trump to flip 10 counties in California from blue to red. But I guess I shouldn't have been surprised about that either,
Because when you look at the conditions that people are living in a Democrat-controlled state, well, yeah, you can understand why people are turning their backs on the Democratic Party. You can understand why people are frustrated at the corruption, at the loss of $24 billion that was allocated to help the homeless, when homelessness only exploded during that time, and that money is now unaccounted for.
Then came Ana, clearly skipping the morning coffee and running purely on political adrenaline. Whatever illusion Gavin had left of being the golden boy of Democratic politics vanished the second she opened her mouth. His polished reputation, once glowing under the spotlight, shattered into 1,000 pieces as Ana delivered her words with the precision of someone who'd been keeping score since his first campaign promise. The calm in her tone made it even more devastating. No need for shouting when every sentence hit like a bullet of truth. She stripped away the glitter, the glamour, and that smooth-talking charm he'd built his entire career on. Gone was the carefully managed image of the people's champion. What remained was a man caught in his own web of contradictions. Gavin's confidence faltered as Ana exposed his political mask, revealing the cracks that had been there all along. This wasn't just a debate anymore. It was a live autopsy of his credibility, and Ana was holding the scalpel with a steady, merciless hand.
What would a President Newsom candidacy look like in a general election, not just pandering to the left?
Yeah, good question. He would sell out the American people to corporate interests, just like he did with PG&E, starting fires and destroying countless Californians' lives as a result of that. He bailed them out. He totally bailed them out. He has provided protection for them, even though they absolutely refused to update their century-year-old equipment, which everyone knew was going to lead to devastating wildfires.
Then came Ana, clearly skipping the morning coffee and running purely on political adrenaline. Whatever illusion Gavin had left of being the golden boy of Democratic politics vanished the second she opened her mouth. His polished reputation, once glowing under the spotlight, shattered into 1,000 pieces as Ana delivered her words with the precision of someone who'd been keeping score since his first campaign promise. The calm in her tone made it even more devastating. No need for shouting when every sentence hit like a bullet of truth. She stripped away the glitter, the glamour, and that smooth-talking charm he'd built his entire career on. Gone was the carefully managed image of the people's champion. What remained was a man caught in his own web of contradictions. Gavin's confidence faltered as Ana exposed his political mask, revealing the cracks that had been there all along. This wasn't just a debate anymore. It was a live autopsy of his credibility, and Ana was holding the scalpel with a steady, merciless hand.
Gavin Newsom, in every single interview I've seen him do, has passed the buck, even though he is the governor of this state.
Yeah.
He is pathetic. He's a snake. He's like the slimiest Democratic politician, certainly on a local level. But what we have seen is mismanagement of epic proportions, and the mere existence, and it is real, the existence of climate change should not be utilized as a talking point in order to pass the buck, in order to deflect blame, in order to refuse to take any personal responsibility for how poorly this state has been governed for several years.
It all started with a smirk, just a tiny flicker of arrogance on Gavin's face. Maybe he thought he could charm his way through another conversation, the way he always does. But then Ana came swinging, sharp and fearless, tearing through that carefully polished image, like it was glued together with PR buzzwords and denial. Her every word was deliberate, cutting, and laced with a humor so precise it could slice steel. This wasn't just criticism, it was a controlled demolition dressed up as casual commentary. Ana's calm delivery made it all even more brutal. No shouting, no theatrics, just raw truth landing like punches in slow motion. She peeled back the layers of his "I care about the working class" act, exposing every trick, every illusion. Suddenly, Gavin's progressive costume looked more like a cheap Halloween disguise. Mirrors, strings, and trapdoors everywhere. And people noticed. Because this takedown wasn't just about one man. It was a mirror held up to every politician who talks about the people while signing away their futures behind closed doors.
Can I curse? I don't know if I can.
Please,
Okay.
you must. It's a necessity.
So, Democratic establishment candidates are full of shit. And I need people to understand that. And we need to get out of this like vicious pendulum swing cycle where we go from one terrible administration to another terrible administration. They just have different branding. But in the end, they do nothing for ordinary people. And that's what people are hungry for. I think that's part of what explains the popularity of Zoran Mamdani in this mayoral race in New York City.
Ana struck the match, and suddenly the whole stage lit up. Everyone realized they'd been sitting on a mountain of political kindling, waiting to burn. Her brilliance wasn't in loud theatrics, but in her cold, precise delivery. She didn't need to yell. She simply lined up the facts, connected them piece by piece, and let the truth detonate all by itself. It was the political equivalent of a calm explosion, a masterclass in how to dismantle hypocrisy without breaking a sweat. Gavin, meet Karma. Her name's Ana, and she's here to talk about your double standards. And let's not forget Gavin's aesthetic. He's the man trying to be everything to everyone. The charming progressive for one crowd, the corporate favorite for another. He loves reminding the world how California leads the nation in green energy, which sounds great, until you remember the endless oil drilling permits, the ghost of that high-speed rail that never arrives, and the sudden silence whenever a tech lobbyist enters the room. The contradictions are too loud to ignore, and Ana made sure no one could.
A native Angelino. I was born and raised in California. I love my state. I love the people in the state. But it is an absolute wasteland right now. Every freeway bridge is full of people living in tents. There's excrement on our sidewalks. It's unsafe. Crime has gone up. And when it comes to coronavirus, I mean, the fish rots from the head down. Let me just mention, oh, I'm sure he really does find it funny. He's not bothered by it at all. You just heard the bitter statements of a snake who unfortunately serves as the governor of California. Some like to refer to him as Gavin Newsom. I like to refer to him as a smarmy failure of a politician out of the state that I was born and raised in. Nonetheless, Gavin Newsom was fighting hard to be the guy who stepped in to replace Joe Biden if he dropped out of the race, of course.
Ana wasn't nitpicking. She was exposing a full-blown pattern. The infamous Gavin shuffle, that slick routine where bold promises meet watered-down action behind closed doors, was finally being called out. While voters might overlook the quiet contradictions, Ana didn't. She came with evidence, receipts, and the sharpest delivery imaginable. Every sentence was like a mirror held up to his career, reflecting the glossy surface and the hollow core beneath. And the worst part? Gavin had no escape route this time. Ana didn't just attack his policies, she went straight for the mindset that built them. The belief that presentation matters more than principle. That buzzwords like equity could distract people from noticing there's no real equity at all. And when the truth hit, Gavin froze. No fiery comeback, no clever spin, not even a half-hearted tweet to save face. His silence became the loudest sound in the room. Ana's takedown echoed across the internet, bouncing off screens like thunder, because when you pretend too long, reality always catches up.
He's so cool and relatable in his genes, and but like between Cuomo and Newsom, these are actually two really good examples of people who represent the Democratic Party establishment who have not fully reckoned with their unpopularity during the COVID crisis and are now sort of trying to be, as powerful as they were before without, I don't know, maybe actually even being seriously introspective as opposed to whatever the hell that was.
You're absolutely right, okay, in your analysis. And let me just say, that I like you when I'm willing to sit through a podcast episode featuring Gavin Newsom just to prepare, for this. Okay, because I can't stand him. I can't stand his raspy voice. And it's not for any superficial reason other than the fact that I live in California. Mm-hmm. I've had the displeasure of experiencing what his leadership actually looks like.
When someone drops truth bombs with surgical precision and icy calm, there are only 3 reactions: panic, denial, or pretending it never happened. Gavin chose the third, hoping silence could bury the damage, but the internet had other plans. Replays exploded across every platform: Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, spreading faster than wildfire. The clips went viral, the memes rolled in, and reaction videos poured out from every corner of the web. Even cautious political pundits couldn't resist mentioning Ana's words, though most didn't dare quote her word for word. Doing that might have melted Gavin's PR team on the spot. And honestly, he deserved it. For too long, Gavin has treated his office like a stepping stone for his presidential dreams instead of a place to solve problems. California's crises became his campaign backdrop. Every press conference a photo op, every policy announcement a set piece for his leader of tomorrow narrative. But Ana stripped all that away, showing the world the man behind the lens, a politician rehearsing his legacy while his state struggles to keep up.
That while Americans are encouraged to shelter in place, encouraged to practice social distancing, no eating indoors at restaurants, he was seen at the French Laundry meeting up with his lobbyist buddies. That is unacceptable. I have not seen competent leadership from Gavin Newsom, and I will state on this show, every single member of my family signed our names, provided our signatures to recall.
Ana reminded the world what real political accountability sounds like. And it wasn't loud, flashy, or sugar-coated. It was raw, sharp, and drenched in honesty that cut through every layer of political polish. No donors, no spin, no PR filter, just truth, unfiltered and unstoppable. She proved that genuine conviction doesn't need special effects. It only needs courage. Gavin might have stepped onto that stage expecting another easy round of applause, but instead, he walked straight into a trial where his own record testified against him. When she declared him guilty of performative progressivism, it wasn't just a punchline. It was a verdict. No defense, no spin cycle, no clever recovery, just silence, thick and uncomfortable. Ana didn't just expose a politician, she stripped the illusion of what power looks like. The moment was more than viral. It was a reminder that image can't outrun substance forever. Gavin learned that the hard way, and Ana, she didn't just make a point. She made history with an exclamation mark loud enough to echo through every corner of politics.